Hi guys, so I just made this traditional Chinese salt and pepper squid and it was so easy and delicious. They're supposed to be served as a starter or a main course, but I think they'd be best served with drinks, preferably cold beer. Sorry if I'm bastardizing Chinese culture, but this bastard says what he thinks. Start off by adding about 2 teaspoons of szechuan peppercorns to a hot, dry frying pan and toast them for a few minutes until they become really aromatic. These peppercorns taste so good. They provide a little bit of heat, but also a really nice perfume. Then take them off the heat and tip them into a pestle and mortar, along with about a teaspoon of sea salt flakes, and bash them all up until they're as fine as your patience will allow. Not that fine for me because I'm pretty impatient, but suit yourself. Then I took roughly 400 grams of cleaned squid fillets. Just the bodies, no wings, no tentacles, because this is all I could get my hands on. For me today, this was 3 fillets. Get your fishmonger to remove the outer, tougher, grayer membrane though. And with a sharp knife, open up each fillet and lay it out flat. Now run the knife over the fillet to score it in straight lines every 2mm or so. Try not to go all the way through the fillet, but if you do, no big deal. Then rotate the fillet and score in straight lines again, just like before, but at 90 degrees to the original direction. Now just repeat this for the remaining squid bodies. Scoring like this will cause the squid to curl up really nicely in the hot oil. Once you're finished scoring the squid, cut them up into mouthful-sized pieces. Then transfer all the squid pieces to a bowl and add 2 tablespoons of szechuan wine, or dry sherry if you're stuck. Mix it all up well and let it marinate briefly just while you chop up your aromatics. The aromatics won't get a whole lot of cooking, so I'm going to switch boards just to be safe. Start by very finely slicing 1 fresh red chili. Normally I'd say now that if you wanted to keep it not so hot, to leave the seeds out, but I can't really handle the heat that well at all and I left the seeds in, and this was just perfect for me. Now add the sliced chili to a bowl and take 2 spring onions. Cut off the root and then separate the white part from the green part. Set the green part aside because you want that in a sec. Now slice up the white part pretty finely and add it to the bowl with the chili. Next, the recipe calls for 2 tablespoons of finely chopped garlic. I was probably a little heavy-handed with 4 fat cloves, but I've never eaten anything and said, this is too much garlic. You can mince it up with a knife if you like, or use a microplane grater, but I'm actually going to use a garlic crusher because it's new and I really like using it. I'm combining these ingredients because they'll be added at the same time, and this makes cooking a lot easier. It can be done ahead of time, and when you're deep frying, you really shouldn't be focused on anything else. Now take the green parts of the spring onions and slice them up really finely as well. Discard the rougher tips of them and add them to the szechuan pepper and salt because they'll be added at the same time. Now take back your squid pieces and drain it completely, discarding all of that szechuan wine. Then bring it back and sprinkle over 4 tablespoons of flour. Potato flour is best, but here I'm using ordinary plain flour. Then mix it all up really well so that every piece of squid is nicely coated with the flour, and your hands are the best tool for this. Once all the squid is coated, then it's time to start frying. Take a large saucepan and add some oil for deep frying. For me, this was about 400 milliliters, but it depends on the dimensions of your pan. It should be about 1 inch deep and definitely not more than half filling the pan. Turn the heat up to max to bring the temperature of the oil up to 180 degrees. I'm using a candy thermometer to keep track of it, but if you don't have one, you can just drop a cube of bread into the oil, and if it goes golden very quickly in a few seconds, then it's hot enough. Now that the oil has reached 180 Celsius, I'm going to remove the candy thermometer, bring the floured squid as close to the oil as possible so you can quickly separate each piece and drop it into the hot oil. It's probably best to do this in 2, maybe 3 batches, and just be careful not to burn yourself. Stir them occasionally just to break them up and allow them to fry for about 2–2.5 minutes before you remove them with a slotted spoon and let them drain on some kitchen towel. Just make sure they're nice and crisp and golden. Then just do the same with the remaining squid pieces and take them out to let them drain. Now swap your saucepan for a frying pan or a wok and add a tablespoon or two of the hot oil to it. And over a medium heat, add your chili, garlic and white spring onion. You can add another little drop of oil if it's looking dry. It probably won't if you're using a wok though. Now stir continuously for about 2 minutes before you turn the heat back up to high and add in your squid, followed by your szechuan pepper, salt and green spring onion. Now stir fry for another minute and a half maybe before you take it off the heat and transfer it to a serving bowl. Then serve up to your friends and they'll be like, what? And you'll be like, I know, right? And every time they come around after this, they'll be like, I wonder if we'll get that salt and pepper squid. Thanks a million for watching, guys. I hope you liked this recipe. If you did, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button below and check me out on social media. You'll find all the links to my accounts in the description below, as well as the link to my blog where you'll find this full recipe at www.rookiecook.org.